and welcome to our 40-day countdown. We've got 40 days left until our English exam, and what have we got in store? Well, we've got a few little tips and tricks and tasks to complete each day as we count down from 40 to our English exam. So time is on our side. We've got plenty of time to not sit back and relax, but to be proactive. So here are a few tips and tricks. What's the first thing that we need to know about our English exam? Well, what's on it? So there are 3 sections to our English exam. Our first section, or section A, is our single text response. And then section B is where we compare and contrast 2 texts, and you would have studied that predominantly in term 3. Section C. Section 3 is our persuasive argument and language analysis. And there's some great things to remember about this section C. The first one is throughout the years you have been actively critiquing the world around you, which means this is a great differentiator for students because you have all the skills underneath your belt. But what you need now is a piece in front of you that nobody has seen before in order to show how great you are compared to the other 40,000 Victorian students. Know your exam. Section A, single text response. Section B, your comparative texts. And section 3, your persuasive argument and language analysis. Now, we know we've got 3 hours for our exam and 3 sections, which means at the most you've got 60 minutes on each one of those sections. Now, the other great thing is that you're given 15 minutes of reading time before you begin your exam, and that's a great time to read through not only your topics and work out which one of the questions you want to answer for section A and section B, but also for section C, it gives you 15 minutes of reading time to read through the piece a couple of times and the background information. So today we're going to centre on our section A text. What are some things that we need to remind ourselves from the text that we basically looked at in term 1 and term 2? Well, let's take ourselves back to the fundamentals. You've reread your text. If not, now's a great time to start. And remember, you can speed on through that. You don't have to read it word for word. As you worked through it in first and second term, you might have highlighted sections, you may have put in sticky notes, you would have written down notes in your workbook. So now's your time to reread over those. And as you reread through it, here's a little table to sort and organise your ideas. So most of the characters' names you'll know, make sure you know how to spell them, but most of them have a symbolic meaning that underpins the name as well. So for instance, if a character is given a symbolic name that refers to, for instance, like Lady Catherine de Bourgh from Pride and Prejudice, then the lady gives us not only the title, but also the entitlement of her as well. So think about the name and the meaning of the name. Think about physical description. Think about the symbolism that's attached to a particular character. If you're talking about a hero, for instance, from Much Ado About Nothing, then think about the oranges, the sweet lady, but also the really offensive comment that was placed upon her about being a rotten orange as well. Now, another aspect that you could also look through your notes and really grab a hold of is that of language attachments. If you're looking at the different characters within Kate Kennedy's Like a House on Fire, then you'll find that each one of those characters has different idiosyncratic language traits. So think of a couple that you might like to write down so that you can refer back to them. And then, of course, there's always the thematic attachment as well. What views and values do particular characters have, and why do they have those views? Now, as you're going through, you want to give yourself a time limit today. We know we've got 40 days until our exam. So therefore, we want to think about how we can keep ourselves motivated and how we can make sure that we're not presenting our time, but we're actually actively doing. So give yourself a time limit today. 2 lots of 45 minutes. As you're reading through the text, as you're reading through your notes, and you're filling in your table, and I would also suggest that you handwrite this as well for muscle memory, set yourself 45 minutes. Now you might think, oh great, I've got a timer on my phone. Well, this is one of those opportunities that I would actually suggest that you put your phone away. If you're lucky enough to have a kitchen timer or an alarm clock, I'd set your alarm clock for 45 minutes. A phone can be really tempting, especially when it keeps on buzzing with texts from your friends, with messages, with Snapchats that you need to have a look at. Put your phone away in a different room and really focus on that 45 minutes. And then when the alarm goes off, give yourself a 10-minute active reward. That means stepping away from your space that you happen to be studying in. You can go outside if it's a beautiful day, go for a walk, just a 10-minute break. Give your brain time to process the information. But more importantly, you need a break. It needs a little rejuvenation. So give yourself a reward in the middle and at the end. And then this will also keep you motivated. And so that when you come back to it tomorrow, you think, wow, I really achieved something yesterday. And this holds me in really good stead for tomorrow. So what did we do today? Well, we looked at how well we could succeed within the 40 days that we have left and how we can start today. So I wanted to give a little shout out today to Abby, because I know Abby is trying her hardest to succeed. So Abby, keep up the good work, and I look forward to giving a shout out to someone else next time. Thank you.